This is an astonishing story. A primary school headmistress has won an unfair dismissal case after she was sacked for assault. This was for tapping her toddler son's hand whilst disciplining him. Shelley Ann Malab-Goulbourne was trying to get her 3-year-old to stop playing with a hand sanitizer in her office when she used 2 fingers to attract his attention. The incident was witnessed by the teacher in charge of child safety, who accused her of hurting her son and completed a cause for concern form to report a safeguarding incident. The head teacher was found guilty of gross misconduct and sacked. Well, she's now in line for compensation after an employment judge concluded there was no evidence that she'd committed physical chastisement or an assault and ruled her dismissal unfair. So is it wrong to tap your child's hand as a form of discipline? Let's get the views of television news legend Sue Cook and my Friday friends tonight, Neil and Christine Hamilton. Neil, this sounds to me like a ridiculous story. Potentially this woman's career in ruins. Your reaction?
Well, of course, there's a complete lack of common sense in lots of these kind of situations today, and a Stasi mentality on the part of individuals who are extra officious in trying to enforce what clearly in this case was a misinterpretation of the law.
Yeah.
But it's the lack of common sense and the busybodiness of the whole thing, which I think is so redolent of the nature of which our society has descended since this old HR culture.
Yeah.
There's an army of busybodies out there who are now being employed basically at everybody else's expense, because we all pay the bills in one way or another for the cost of this thing. And, what about parental responsibility? That's what was being exerted in this particular case, and that's the way it should be. It's for parents to discipline their children.
Is it wrong to tap your child on the wrist? I mean, just the very action, Christine?
No. I mean, from what I understand, the child had already been disciplined in a verbal way for messing around with the hand sanitizer. Yeah. So he knew he was old enough to know he was doing wrong. No, if she'd slapped him on the wrist, 2 fingers, I mean, it's utterly absurd. And it was her own child. Now, OK, you may say that the school rules are the school rules, but it was her own child she was disciplining, and I think parents should be allowed to discipline their children in their own way, within limits, of course, but, that was clearly a nonsense. And that woman, think of the trauma that she has been through. I'm not quite sure how long she's been suspended.
And she must be quite a young head teacher, a former head teacher, because she's got small children.
Small child. She's had the most unbelievable I hope she gets a massive ton of money as compensation. Now,
you've got skin in the game, Sue, because I think you're a former school governor.
That's right, yes. And I know, as I was a governor for an academy trust, and I just know how stressful all the teachers feel all the time, because safeguarding is the thing they're all worried about. And this safeguarding teacher, she was obviously the safeguarding lead in the school, and she decided as a safeguarding person that she shouldn't have witnessed this tap on the hand. And I mean, what sort of person she must be is totally bonkers. But anyway, the police didn't think it was worth prosecuting, nor did the local council. But the Academy Trust itself thought, we don't want to be accused of any safeguarding, problems. We'd better, we'll discipline the woman and we'll sack her and she can go. We'll have to sacrifice her. And of course, she then had to sue for unfair dismissal. As Christine said, she must have gone through hell for 2 or 3 years. And I hope she gets decent compensation.
Definitely, and a plum job at another school who will be lucky to have her.